saw a question here from Cold Deck. This is a really good question. Maybe this is how we'll end the first part of the show today. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. So the 8 things to do before 2025 is going to be on the zap.stream/Bitcoin Journeyman. Okay, so Cold Deck asks, what sets the VBIT price? Very good question. And it is an organization called the VBIT Bitcoin Blockchain Association. VBBA, they go by. Just joking. So look at this. We got 2 sats per VBIT, the last block here. This is crazy times. 2 sats per VBIT. So who sets the VBIT price? Very simple. The market. It's the truest form of a free market that I've ever seen before, outside of like auctions and stuff like that. But it's the same kind of thing. You're basically bidding to get into the next block. So what happens here? This is good, I think, to talk about. So what happens every time you go to send a Bitcoin transaction on Bitcoin Layer 1, you pay a fee. You set your own fee. Some wallets do this for you, and they set a high priority fee just to make sure that you get in there. But with a lot of wallets, such as the Sparrow wallet, you get to set your own fee. So you go to the mempool, you say you see that the minimum fee, the last couple have been 3, 2, 5, and depending on how much of a rush you're in, you're going to set your fee based on that, how much your priority is. So if you have a high priority, you want the transaction to be picked up in the next block, then you set a higher fee. If you're in no sort of rush, maybe you're just consolidating some UTXOs, then you set a lower fee. And so when you send that transaction, when you broadcast it to the Bitcoin network, it goes over here. It goes in the mempool. This is what the mempool is. It's all the Bitcoin transactions that are waiting to be put into a block. And they actually sit there until the fee is high enough, until a miner says, okay, your fee is high enough. We're going to take your transaction. We're going to put it into a block. And that's going to be in the blockchain forever. So that's what you're paying for, the immutability to be put into a block. And because all of these blocks are scarce in terms of the size, so you see here, there's 5,300 transactions there. This one had 5,200 transactions, 5,400 transactions. So each one of these blocks only has so much space in it for transactions. And the more data you have within your transaction, the more UTXOs you have in your transaction, the higher fee you're going to pay because it takes up more space in that block. So what sets the VBIT price is basically just strictly supply and demand. If you set a fee high enough that gets picked up by a miner, your transaction goes into the next block. If you don't pay enough fee, if there's a whole bunch of people in front of you that are wanting to pay more, then you're going to have to wait a while. I really like to think about the VBITs and getting into the next block, just like a nightclub. Back 10 years ago, we would go to the bar. Let's say it's, what's a big holiday for the bars? St. Patrick's Day. So it's St. Patrick's Day. We're in line at the bar. It's March here, so it's a little bit chilly. And so we want to get in sooner. We want to get into the club. And so we can take $100 bill. We go to the bouncers and we say, here's $100, let us in. So that's exactly what you're doing there. You're paying more to get in. If you want to get in faster, you have to pay. Or you can just sit there in line and wait for everybody else to get in. You don't have to pay anything, or in this case, a very low fee, but you're still going to get in, hopefully. And the other part too that's very similar here is that let's say that you sent a transaction, you set a very low fee. It could sit there for 2-3 weeks, and then it might get dropped from the mempool and put back into your wallet. And that's very similar to like waiting at the bar, where if you show up at 1 o'clock and there's a big line, you don't pay anything, you might not get into the bar. So it's the exact same supply demand. The market dynamic there is all based on who's going to pay the most to get in.